right, and it is 12:03, so Andrew, I think we can go ahead and get started. All right, awesome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Robotics Factory Accelerate Program virtual information session. We're really excited to have you all here with us to learn more about all of our programming and what we have to offer. My name is Diana Raji, and I'm the program coordinator at the Robotics Factory Accelerate Program. And I'm here joined by my colleague, who I'll allow to introduce himself.
Hey everybody, really happy to join this session and have you learn more about our programs. I'm Andrew Caton. I'm the staff electromechanical engineer, and we'll talk more about how I'll engage in the program shortly.
Thank you. All right, so to kick things off, I just wanted to share a little bit about Innovation Works so that you can understand our programming within the context. So Innovation Works is the most active pre- and seed stage investor in the region and consistently is ranked in the top 20 of the most active in the country and has been for the last 5 years. And our mission is to bolster the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Southwestern Pennsylvania specifically. The Robotics Factory is housed under Innovation Works, and the Robotics Factory has 3 branches. You have the Create program, the Accelerate program, which we're going to dive into deeply today, and also the Scale program. So now that we understand a little bit about Innovation Works and our programming, let's go ahead and dive in to talking about the awesome team here at the Robotics Factory that makes it all happen. So in addition to Andrew and myself, the Robotics Factory team is made up of 10 highly accomplished individuals that will guide you and your company throughout all aspects of your business during your time in our accelerator program, and also serve as a support after the official programming too. Our whole team really works hard to make sure that our cohort companies are really getting everything that they can through the different aspects of our program. So our in-person program lasts from June to November, so that's about 6 months. And through our programming, we offer a variety of different supports for our robotics and advanced technology companies. So to start, we offer each of our cohort companies up to $100,000 in funding, and that is released in 2 tranches. The first tranche is $50,000 that our companies get at the start of our programming, and the second tranche of funding is released at the end of our programming, contingent upon our companies completing their individually set milestones. And I'll talk about what those milestones look like in a few slides from now. Additionally, we offer access to a production-grade prototyping shop and offer robust manufacturing resources that Andrew is going to speak about in detail later on in the presentation. And we also give all of our companies free office and shop usage for a full year, and it's right in the heart of Robotics Row, where you are literally steps away from key players in the robotics industry. So even after our programming ends in November, you still have access to our wonderful facility for office space and that production grade prototyping shop up until the following June. Additionally, we offer many different connections through Innovation Works' extensive mentor and investor network. All of our companies will get to pitch to investors during our showcase events, and then also connect with mentors within Innovation Works' robust network. And last but not least, we offer customized programming that mixes a variety of workshops with one-on-one support to each of our companies so that we can truly help you accomplish your goals and make sure that you're achieving maximum growth while you're in our program, and so that you are set up for success after our programming does conclude. So to put this into context, it's really important for us to go ahead and talk about our inaugural cohort that just wrapped up programming with us in December of 2023. And I want to show you some results from that programming experience. So over the course of our programming, our 6 companies received collectively over 500 hours of customized support through scheduled one-on-ones with our team and 250 hours of personalized mentor coaching. So what that means is for a few examples, our companies sat in on and went through bi-weekly one-on-ones with our team where we did check-ins and helped our companies meet the deliverables of their milestones that they set out at the beginning of programming, and talk through different scenarios and different components of the problems that they were facing and how to move forward with those. We also provided manufacturing and marketing support to each of our companies and did individualized pitch deck coaching and support to help them prep and be ready for showcase. So those are just a few examples of things that we've done on a one-on-one case-by-case basis. But what I would really like for you to take away from this is think about our programming as joining a gym and getting a personal trainer. That personal trainer is there to work with you and help you grow as an individual and a company, not as much as a group workout class where everyone's getting the same instruction, everyone's getting the same programming. So the trainer is on your team and ready to help you individually meet the goals and the milestones that you're looking to accomplish. So I've been talking about these program goals and milestones, and I want to make sure to impart on all of you that our program goals are your program goals. We work with each of our companies to identify 6 milestones that are related to your market, your technology, and finance, so that you can achieve those program milestones by the end of the program's conclusion. So we work with you at the beginning of the programming to set up milestones in each of these categories. And then in our biweekly one-on-ones, we work with you to get a little more ahead on each of those milestones, so that by the end of the program, and at the end of those 6 months, you can see that you've made all that progress and that you've achieved what you set out to achieve, and then hopefully reach the end and get your second tranche of funding as long as those milestones have been completed in entirety. So additionally, what makes our program really wonderful, and another resource that you all have, is in addition to all of the InnovationWorks perks and benefits, you'll also get to tap into the Pittsburgh Robotics Network's resources, since they are our partners in the Robotics Factory. Not only will you have the opportunity to pitch and showcase your company at the Pittsburgh Robotics Discovery Day, but you'll also be matched up with a mentor that's sourced through the Pittsburgh Robotics Network for the duration of the program. And these mentors are experienced robotics leaders who will serve as another awesome support for you and your team. And last but not least, you'll also have a PRN membership that you will be able to use to attend networking events, access valuable newsletters and a member directory, look at job boards, and also look at resumes to acquire all the best and brightest talent to keep expanding your team and keeping your company moving forward. So with all of that information in your back pocket, I'd like to take some time just to talk about what does this look like for our application and program timeline. So our application has been open for about 2.5 weeks now, and it will continue to be open until the end of February. At that point, on February 29th, our application will be closed, and we are accepting applications through our portal called F6S, and that is the only way that we're accepting applications. So if you haven't had a chance to check out that application, it's really easy to find on our website. Go ahead and take a look at some point, and we'll also have a QR code for you to check out later in the presentation. But once those applications close in early March, we're going to do applicant interviews, and based off of the selections we make from the applicant interviews, we will move into due diligence with our companies, where you will be working with our in-house legal team to make sure that everything is above board and moving forward smoothly. And then at that point, pending the due diligence process, we are expecting to make official offers to each of those companies in May, so that our program can go ahead and officially kick off in June. And like I had mentioned before, to conclude at the end of November this year. And just to reiterate, like I said before, even though when our program concludes in November, you still have access to our facility to use as your office and also that shop space until the following June. So let's go ahead and take a look at what are some of the qualities of a strong application. Now that you know our timeline of reviewing and interviewing applicants, what is it that we're going to be looking for our candidates? So we do evaluate each company on a case-by-case basis, but what we're looking for, some of the components are to make sure that our applicants have engaged in the customer discovery process and have developed a technical product that solves an existing problem, not a really cool technical product in search of a problem. And we possibly even want to see that you have some early customers lined up or a pilot in the works. Additionally, we love to work with coachable founders who have an open mind, but also have experience in the robotics industry and have worked in the market of the problem that they're trying to solve. And last but not least, while our program does give you access to our prototyping shop to iterate on your product, we'd love to see that our founders have an MVP and that the product or the prototype and product has a high growth potential. So again, while we do look for these components in our applications, each applicant is evaluated on a case-by-case basis. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Andrew to take it away from here.
Thanks, Diana. So these are some of the frequent questions that we receive here. You kind of consider this burning, but certainly these are the questions that we received. So if you guys have specific questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, Diana, any of our colleagues, and we'll be happy to respond to those very quickly. So the first question that we get is, what are your investment terms? I think this is an area where we are really confident that we're offering something to founders that far exceeds many of the expectations in industry in terms of considerably more favorable than traditional venture capital investments. So we end up providing $100,000 in investment through 2 tranches at the start and the beginning of the accelerator. So that's 50K each tranche. For that, we ask for a 2% equity stake, and you get access to everything that we offer here, all of our programming, all of our connections. It's actually a pretty awesome deal. The next question that we get a lot is this based in Pittsburgh, or do I need to locate my company in Pittsburgh? And we were very intentional setting this program up that we want to have our companies located kind of right in the center of the universe for robotics. Pittsburgh, some of you may know, is currently considered, the robotics capital of the world. Quite literally in the last year, it's received more funding than any country in the world, all going towards the development and advancement of robotics. So what we want to be able to do is have an ecosystem where our founders can touch base with some of those other advanced companies, form collaborations, and move their companies even faster. So we're very intentional in creating that and helping to build the ecosystem here in southwestern Pennsylvania. So we are asking that serious founders for our programs are going to be located here to attend in-person sessions. And the last one is, what kind of companies are we looking for? And you may be able to tell from the name of our program, the Robotics Factory. We're looking for startups that are robotics or robotics adjacent. So that could be anything from an actuated arm that is a prosthetic, robotic prosthetic. It could be something like a gripper that goes on a factory automation robot, or a motor driver. So these are things that empower robots, but may not necessarily be an entire robotics platform. Both of those are totally perfect for the type of program and the type of companies we're trying to help through this program. If you fall outside of those, we still want to help the entrepreneur. So still, please reach out to us, and we may say, it's not a great fit for this program, but we have a couple of other programs that you may consider going forward.
So with all of that information at your fingertips, and now that you have a better understanding of all the resources that we offer, if you are interested in applying to our Robotics Factory Accelerate program, we highly encourage you to go ahead and scan that QR code that is on your screen right now. And if you have any questions about the application or any other questions that you might have thought of throughout this presentation that is really specific to you and your company, we also encourage you to sign up for office hours. We do have office hours in 15 and 30-minute increments, and it might just be a quick, simple conversation between us and between our staff and yourselves, just to figure out what it is that you're curious about and how we can help you. We are really excited to review your applications, and we want you to reach out to us. We're here, we're ready, and we're wanting to engage with all of you. So please feel free to reach out to us, and know that that door of communication is open.
Awesome. So we've talked a lot about some of the opportunities that you have to develop a company with customized programming. These are really looking at working on the company within the company, right? But we have a whole lot of resources that we're going to help provide to allow you to really broaden your reach into the broader ecosystem of robotics or robotics customers. Over the past several years, many of our companies have participated in this AI Robotics Venture Fair. It's an amazing opportunity where you'd have the ability to actually get in front of investors that, you know, don't traditionally come to Pittsburgh. We have investors from all over the world attend, and you're able to meet with them one-on-one, form, you know, lasting connections that otherwise may not have been as easily accessed or created. In this process, you know, in addition to connecting you with those types of investors, we have our own group of investors that we can connect you with that support our programs on an ongoing basis. We offer a demo day where you can publicly display the benefits of your technologies. You know, we have the ability to help you with marketing. We'll do press releases or help you generate press releases, give guidance on brand advice. And some of these are areas where we could pull in mentors that are, you know, really, really awesome in their field and top knowledge, you know, leaders of the world. And in terms of our portfolio network, we've been doing this for quite a while. You know, we started in software and then moved into hardware and biotechnologies, and robotics is the latest extension of that. But we have a portfolio network of over 350 companies. We've been investing since 1999, and we've put over $120 million to use towards growing startups. So if there's somebody that you need to get connected to, especially in the Pittsburgh region, we could absolutely help you do that. In terms of additional resources that we offer to grow your company, we have this amazing shop that is set up here with all sorts of production grade prototyping equipment. These are things like CNC mills, we have CNC lathes, we have manual mills, manual lathes, drill presses, 3D printers, quality control, you know, gauge pins and things of that nature, 3D scanners. We have a full service electronics laboratory. In addition, we actually recently were able to bring online workstations for engineering work. So anybody that is in our program can actually utilize an engineering workstation and develop their prototype or simulate it using SolidWorks. We have, you know, premium subscriptions with every add-on simulation package that they offer. So these are really great tools that allow you or somebody in your team to really accelerate product development faster and turn around iterations for potential customers. If you don't have, you know, all of those skills in-house, that's okay too. And that's kind of where I come into play. So I'll help fill in those gaps as needed so that you guys don't have to slow down to learn something new. I could jump in and help in any variety of areas, like helping with product design or helping with quality control system, looking at documents before they get sent to a supplier. I've been able to work on several super exciting projects. So to give you an idea of the things that I do here to help companies, I'm currently building electrical housings for a drone company, which is really neat. So these will actually get flown around in the field. You know, I'm working on version 2 of an outdoor artificial intelligence guided product that will make decisions, again, kind of in the field. And we're looking at things like water ingress, keeping the compute modules dry. How do you know, design it so that it fits on its intended use platform and is safe from harsh weather environments. And then, you know, there are other companies that we get involved with where they're starting to hit scale and they're looking for somebody to come in and help develop a quality control plan because they just got, you know, Department of Defense contracts. So I can jump in that area as well. And that's more of like looking at technical documents or setting up systems, but I'm just as able to jump in and help in the day-to-day product development if needed. So outside of, you know, what I would do to assist companies in our amazing shop, we offer scalable grants, and this is really an opportunity to broaden our economic impact in the southwestern Pennsylvania area. You know, you guys are probably familiar developing prototypes or proof of concepts, that there are a number of outlets to get things made quickly online. And what we've found throughout the years is that it's not one size fits all for our founders. A lot of times there are specific metrics needed in the products that they get sent out for manufacturing. So in an attempt to build the economy through job creation and catalyzing connections, we offer grants to actually incentivize you to utilize local suppliers and subsidize the cost so that it's actually in most cases cheaper than using a Chinese or overseas manufacturer or potentially an online platform. We offer grants up to $15,000. These are usually one-to-one match grants, and they can be used for things like getting a widget made, polymer, plastic. So if it was like a housing, we've had companies use it for testing, validation, compliance testing type stuff. There are a lot of uses. So, if this becomes an area of interest for you guys, you're welcome to apply for this while you're in the program. And it just adds a layer of additional capital for kind of completing some of those items that you may not think about initially that cost real money. And in addition to all of that, we offer a curriculum. So when you get to a point where you start looking at selling products and you need to think about, how do I plan for my margin in my sales? How do I start planning around inventory? We offer this manufacturing boot camp where we'll meet with you guys one-on-one to figure out what the strategy needs to be based on your specific needs and the stage of your company. A lot of times we'll customize this one-on-one. It could be totally different between two companies, but we'll do things like look at design for manufacturability. Once you have your prototype assembly built, that way you can start planning for scaling those products up and selling them. And finally, we'd love to have you guys come out. So we're hosting what we're calling the Accelerate Mixer. It's going to be February 7th down here at the Robotics Factory. We would love to give you guys a tour of the facilities. We have amazing conference rooms, workspaces, snack bars and drinks, but we also have a prototyping shop and electronics lab. And as Diana had mentioned, we have 10 people that work full-time on our staff in the programs that are all entrepreneurially experienced and just really fired up about building robotics companies. I guess I'll let Diana close it out.
And again, thank you all so much for joining us today. We're just so happy that you are all taking the time out of your day to join us to learn more about our Robotics Factory Accelerate program. So at this point, I'd like to open it up for questions, if anyone has any. I did see one in the chat, so I'll go ahead and pull that up from Ashley. And Ashley, your question is it okay if our company is legally incorporated in another state, even though we are based in Pittsburgh? It's a great question. Andrew, would you like to take that one away?
Absolutely, because like you, I actually went through Alpha Lab. Well, I went through an Innovation Works Accelerator program. I had incorporated my company back in 2014 in the state of Maine, and I went through the programs here. So it is absolutely okay for somebody to be incorporated somewhere else based, here and go through our programs, or have offices in different locations. Some of our founders have multiple offices set up, over the US. So that's something that we'd get to work with you on in the application process, but by no means take that as a stopping point of, oh, I shouldn't apply.
That was a great question. Any other questions from any of the participants today in our virtual info session? Feel free to type it in the chat or Q&A.
I think we have a new one.
Oh, great.
Is software for robotics startup qualify for this? Yes, we actually had a company that went through our last cycle that developed software for a very specialized area of robotics. Really cool. It was, an artificial intelligence-based decision making on how to pick up objects that have never been seen before. So their demonstration was so neat. You could put a whole bunch of different products on a table that had different shapes and sizes or textures, and instruct the robot to place them into a basket or something, and it would figure out how to pick and place those without any instruction. So we'd absolutely love for those types of companies to apply, and that's certainly what we would consider robotics adjacent.
Yeah, that's a great question. And like I said earlier, if you're not quite sure, please feel free to reach out to us, sign up for our office hours, and also apply. Because if your application, and I'll go back to this, the slide with the QR code, if your application isn't maybe a great fit for us, we can definitely still connect you with awesome resources, or maybe one of our other accelerator programs where it would be a better fit. So please reach out to us either way.
I think we have another customer.
Our
Uh,
robot will do multiple things. Can we work with one segment of the design if others are ready? That's
Yeah, so I think I'm trying to kind of understand this question. I think that it sounds like there are multiple potential avenues for you guys to commercialize the robot or fill multiple different market needs. Really kind of our approach is, let's look at what those needs are. You know, have you tell us, because we're not the expert in your specific market application, and try to figure out which ones seem to be the most viable for your MVP launch. We could work out on the prototyping or optimization of that specific prototype for that market segment, and help you, launch that and get feedback. So we're very targeted in our approach, but it certainly changes with every startup. I think that we could work with you to figure out how to target different segments with your design.
all right. And then the next question I see is, what is an time estimate of the weekly time commitment for mentorship and programming? That's a great question. Estimated. So our programming, like I said before, is in person, and you can expect to be in either a workshop or a one-on-one meeting, or working with your mentor, probably from 1 to 3 hours a week, but that'll vary from week to week. So we'd like to make sure that we're keeping your schedules in mind as well. We know that you're really busy, so our programming is about 1 to 3 hours a week.
And please keep in mind that, we'd love for you guys to work out of here every day, because it's such an awesome place to work out of. But, we have a founder that hasn't been here in almost 2 weeks now, because they are doing customer pilots all over the US. And that's something that is critically important to scaling up their business, and we're fully supportive of that. So we can flex around whatever requirements you guys have. We're not trying to impede growth. We're trying to accelerate that further.
Absolutely. That's a great point. Thank you for adding that, Andrew. And it looks like we have another question come in from Chris. What verticals do you have the most experience in mentoring?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have a number of staff that are here who have built companies, who have successfully exited not just one venture, but several. So, it depends kind of on what you are specifically talking about, but I'm going to talk to this generally. So things like B2B, robotics, we've had some B2C, we've had AI integration type stuff, industrial robotics. Parag was one of the founders of Nea Systems, who is one of our mentors. Jürgen was the founder of RE Squared, that then was sold to Sarcos. Kevin, he's the founder of Carta. He was also the VP of engineering for Moms, which was a consumer product play, among a whole bunch of other areas. But these guys all have PhDs in robotics, and worked out of CMU when AI was really starting to come to fruition. So they've built companies from the robotics industry that crossed AI, so they're just as capable of providing feedback in robotics as they are, AI plays.
And also keep in mind that in our programming, one unique component of the Robotics Factory Accelerate program is that we do pair up all of our companies with a mentor from the Pittsburgh Robotics Network. And all of those mentors, we match you with them. And you're also open to working with the other mentors who have lots of experience in the robotics industry that can help guide your company. So whether it's marketing support or product or technical support, they're all there and they're all part of your team when you join the Robotics Factory Accelerator. So they all definitely can help mentor you in different aspects of your company. Oh, a few more questions coming in now. On the website, you mentioned opportunities for follow-up funding. Can you tell us more about this? Definitely, we can speak to this. Andrew, would you like to speak on this, or?
Yeah, sure. So, this program, we offer up to 100,000 in 2 tranches at the start and the completion of the programming if all of the milestones are achieved. Beyond that, we offer seed funding. So if you guys are at a stage, and our hope is to get each company to a stage where they can actually, start raising seed funding and be successful in that venture. Actually, most of the companies that have gone through the robotics inaugural cohort have now raised a significant amount of capital. So we're not even 12 months past their start, and combined, they've raised several $1 million, which is just incredibly impressive. But we have a seed fund here at Innovation Works that offers additional capital. So I think it's probably, I can't be very specific on the amounts because I don't know as they change. But it's certainly, more than $50,000, I'd presume. In addition to that, we have a professional venture arm through Innovation Works called Riverfront Ventures. So that's kind of when a company's at the growth stage and they need significantly more capital beyond, 100,000. We're probably talking beyond $1 million. That's kind of the territory that they would step in and play in. So depending on the stage, we have different capital vehicles ready to jump in and assist the companies that are in our portfolio.
And one thing I just wanted to add, by participating in our accelerator programming, Innovation Works and the portfolio executives that get assigned to your company, they get to build that rapport with you. They get to know you, and they know the needs that you have, and they are able to, present all of that information to the committee for follow-on funding. So you're establishing this rapport for when and if that moment comes later down the road. So it is a great opportunity also for follow-on funding if that is in your line of sight. And then one question came in, are we able to buy back your equity share at a point in time where it makes sense?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I'll jump on that only because I've had a few similar questions before, but it's something that I think we're gaining additional insight into. So, Innovation Works in general, like we're not trying to stop growth. We're not trying to make it so that you don't have enough equity to raise another round. Like our whole goal is to help companies be successful now and in the future. So if there's a valid need for you to acquire some of that equity back, I'm sure that, if you make a legitimate case of, hey, I've got to free up some of my cap table so that I could bring in this new venture partner who's going to grow us to $100 million company, we'd be foolish to kind of stand in your way. But that's going to be something that when that time comes, we'd want you to work with the portfolio executive that is assigned to your company to work out those details and present that to our board.
Any other questions? All right, well, if there are no other questions, I think we will go ahead and wrap up our virtual information session. And like we had said earlier, if you still have any other questions or something pops up later down the road after you've had some time to reflect on all the information, please feel free to sign up for office hours. I can't stress that enough. We want to hear from you. We're here for you so that we can chat, and we do offer 15 to 30-minute increments for those office hours. And then again, the QR code to apply to our program is still up on the screen, and it is through our F6S website. And you can also find the link to F6S easily on our Robotics Factory website. So in case this QR code, if you don't have a chance to scan it, it is accessible that way. And just one final note, we are having our in-person mixer. So I'm going to go back to that slide just so that you can go ahead and scan that code as well. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to meet meet any founders who are interested in our program. And it's a chance for you to get to check out our awesome space from 5 to 7 on February 7th. So we're really excited to welcome everyone with open arms, and we hope that you'll join us. So with that, I will go ahead and conclude our virtual information session. Again, thank you all so much for joining us today. All right, thank you. Have a great day, everyone.